Hey friends, so I am back as always with another book read. This month for our morning school read, me and both of my girls read Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye. I'm going to tell you that my older daughter left out on us like halfway through the book, but me and my youngest daughter read the book through. This was an interesting book. It's so wild. This is my first book that I've ever read with Toni Morrison. I think I've mentioned several times that I found her in a book, a like hoodoo book, and I think it's like the soul of I forgot what the book is called, something about the soul of dead people or something. I don't know. Anyway, that was a really good book. It was interesting because she talked about different authors and stuff within the book and like opinions and things that they had. And for me, while reading that, Toni Morrison like stood out so much. And ever since that book, I've been like hooked on her and her personality and like how she presented herself type thing. So then from there I started like looking into her and collecting her books, and then I got all of them, and then once I got them I also started collecting extras because I was like, my girls need to read these too. They need to, read Black literature and like just learn from this woman because she just feels so amazing to me. So we read this book, and I also like had questions and like different things for them. The questions didn't totally work out. But we would just kind of like discuss the book where we were at for that day, and it was just so interesting. It's a really odd read. Like you open the book and it's like this like a story, like I don't know, maybe it's like an old time story and the story just gets chaotic. So then it kind of sets you up to know like we're about to be dealing with some chaos here. So then you're also reading the book from mostly from it feels like the perspective of like two little girls who happen to be sisters, and they get like this foster child. And the book is more so, well, not the girls, but a foster child comes to live with them in their home. And so the story is more so about that foster child who is just treated like super poorly or whatever, and her wanting like blue eyes. And this foster child goes through so much, but it also shows kind of like the background history of like her parents, like a little there's like little pieces of like her parents' background history to see how they got to where they are. And also to see why they are, like how they got where they are, why they are the way that they are, and then how that is like comes down to affect their children and stuff like that. And even within like the foster child's name, I think is Piccola. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. And then there's the two sisters who are Frida and Claudia, and they also have like a chaotic lifestyle, but they also have like each other to like lean into, and their abuse, so to speak, is a little bit different than Piccola's and things like that. And so you just see the development of how, as a society, and more specifically as Black people, how this like trickle down effect comes and it affects our kids, and then how they have to like kind of like navigate that world. At least that's what I took from it. I feel like this is a book where um you can just interpret it so many different ways, and there's so many like layers to it and things that are going on within the book, which I loved because then that allows for so much discussion for me and my kids who just grew up in a different life or whatnot, and for them to see like things may not be perfect because no parent is perfect. We all drop the ball. We're doing this for the first time. We're I don't think that there's any perfect parent. I try my best. I try my best to like be good to my kids, to see them as humans and not just like you're a child and you need to stay in a child's place, because they're learning, they're developing, and they are like becoming these little people, and pretty soon they're going to be out in the world and having to live and make decisions on their own and things like that. So it's just interesting to see like things that occur. And one of the biggest takes that I took, because there's like a couple of different characters from the book is just like, you never know who your neighbors are. Not to say like, because you think of that and you think like, oh, where they're out, like you could be living like next to a serial killer, like a psycho, like that type of thing. But it's just even like the little, not little things, but like little things. Like you don't know if your neighbor's abusing their spouse. You don't know if they're abusing their children or their elderly parent or what they have going on. Unless you're like kind of in their business. And I think maybe back in the day, people used to be a little bit more in each other's business, but now it seems like you kind of stay within your own home and you do your own thing. You might wave to your neighbor or whatever, say hi, just have like those little pleasure. I don't know what word I'm trying to think of. Anyways, that doesn't even matter. But you just, you kind of say like you're hi and bye, how are you doing? Da 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 kind of thing. But you don't really know what's going on in their home. And then also more so, we don't know what's going on with these children. Like this girl was just like going through it. And then it's like, then you have to show up every day and go to school. And then like we're like these kids misbehave and all these things in school. But why? Like what is their home life like? We just assume like everything's, peaches and cream, but we just never know. But this to me was a really amazing book. And as I'm like talking and going through it in this video, I'm just feeling even more so like, wow, it really was. Like it was really chaotic getting through it. And there were just some points where I'm like, what? Like it felt like it came left field. Like, where is this coming from? And like, where are we going with this kind of thing? But I don't know. So far, I am like loving her writing. I did see on TikTok where people were saying like it's really hard to get through it. Some people say that you have to read it out loud, which of course we were reading it together, so we read it out loud. I don't know how it is to read it in your head. And then other people I've seen saying like you have to find a rhythm, like she has a rhythm within her writing, and once you like unlock that rhythm, then it makes so much sense. One thing for me is I love Toni Morrison's voice. Like something about her voice just like soothes my soul. So I am trying to get on the Libby app to get the next book that we're going to read for the month of May, which you won't see this till forever. But I am trying to hope and cross my fingers that we get it so that we can listen to it, because I think it would just be so beautifully done listening to it in her voice. And I watched like her interviews and stuff, and she did say that she made it within her voice so that she can have the pauses and the emphasis and those things that she wanted. She felt like no one else could do it the way that she could, and I'm so happy that she did that because I love 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 her voice. Just something about like her is just like for me. So I'm really crossing my fingers to get it on the Libby app. If not, I might have to just buy like the audio book of it so that we can listen to it in her voice. And the next one that we're going to do, which you'll see the video of that before this, but the next one that we're going to be doing is Beloved. And I don't know why, but as a kid, I freaking loved that movie. I don't even know if I was supposed to be watching that, but I really, really did enjoy it. I'm like trying to think, I haven't seen it in forever, like years. But I'm trying to like, maybe I'm gonna Google it or something or watch it but I hate watching stuff and then like watching it again. Like the only movie I've been able to do that on is Sinners, like watch it over and over and over. And I need to watch that again too. But and my favorite movie, which is what is that? I can't even think, it just slipped my mind, with Sandra Bullock. Hope Floats. I can watch that crap like over and over and over. But for the most part, I don't like watching movies like over and over and over. But I want to look into if it's appropriate for my kids to watch. The book is probably inappropriate. I don't know if it's inappropriate or not, but we're gonna read it and we're gonna go through it, and then we're gonna hopefully watch the movie. I don't know, fingers crossed. We'll see. I'm like very much on like, I'm not a super strict parent when it comes to stuff like that, but I do not like my kids watching like anything if it's like nudity. Like if I can skip it, okay, but I don't want it to be like overly, and I cannot remember it for the like life of me. I just remember that I used to love watching it when I was younger. But this book too has a lot of trigger warnings because there is abuse within the book. So if those types of things, and it's like physical abuse, mental abuse, and there is some like sexual abuse type stuff within the book. So if those things trigger you, you may not want to read this book. So yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. And Overall, great book, highly recommend. It is a wild ride when I tell you it is a wild, wild ride. If you do decide to read this. If you have read it, comment below, let me know how you felt about it. But yeah, that's it. Into the next one. Bye.